Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything and amazing Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only Master Propaganda, hero of Psych, defender of the fatherland of eternal glorious 1v1 own. Yes, it is Twin Beaches. It's not Road to Tunis. In the north stands Charlotte, fighting here for once for the British Army of the Commonwealth. King George taking on the role here of the 1st Infantry Division, tasked with holding off a German counterattack here under the command of Imbbe, fighting for the Deutsches Afrika here for the 90th Panzergrenadier Division, 5th Panzer Pioneer Company though. Straight into a triple Panzer Pioneer start here, and we got immediately armoured support here. Certainly a popular battle group. But there's obviously still some Italian combined arms and even occasional Italian infantry. As for Charlotte, well, we'll have to see. We got a single sapper intersection start here, double section start here for Charlotte, leading ahead here for the British Empire, the Commonwealth. As always, a big hearty thanks to my patron supporters who help keep making the Propagandacast dream possible with their generous monthly support. So big hearty thanks to all those wonderful and delightful people. Sectioning eastwards here with Lee Enfield rifles and a single Enfield revolver there. Moving forwards there, of course. North here, sappers grab the point here. Second section out there for Charlotte. So far, fairly standard stuff here. Section digging in here, digging in there, and far south here, digging in as well. Of course, Panzer Pioneers now sort of fight a bit more cost efficiently early on, and sort of digging a lot that they don't quite benefit as much as some of the upgrades here, see the Panzer Grenadiers. But they'll certainly get the job done. And again, means you can get down a lot of sandbags if you're into sandbags. First engagement here, though, by the centre, they're caught by the fountain. The Panzer Pioneer quickly dive into a nearby building, dodging British bullet fire. There's the Lee Enfields sing off here. Holding up there with their Carnot TKs was the British Lee Enfield Mark IV. Dropping there, Thompson, as he unfortunately slips and dies in the middle of the street here. Section occupying the building here, bit of a shootout there. Up north here, Panzer Pioneer is the sapper section. Reginald there is perforated, and the rest of the section falls back as the 2nd Panzer Pioneer squad here arrives. Turn the tide there for the fatherland. So far, Charlotte there taking minor casualties, but also very quick to realise in either engagement to either back off or hold up into a building until further reinforcement can arrive. Just tie up the enemy. That said, in terms of tying up the enemy, this benefits the German player more, even though it's just only 2 windows here versus more windows. Although, what the hell is he? Oh, he's got a revolver. Anyways, but still, it kind of benefits the German player more because that's 200 manpower versus 260 manpower. So they're basically occupying a more expensive unit here. Meanwhile, pushing forward to the Panzer Pioneer there, we got a 4th Panzer Pioneer squad and then a MG-34 as Imbbe here rushes for the light support company here, the Maschinengewehr 34. Far south here, section and standoff with another Panzer Pioneer squad here. In the center there, bit of light skirmishing, section pushing towards the fuel point here, sappers catching the Panzer Pioneer there by its cutoff, and we got the MG-34 right around the corner here for the Germans. Panzer Pioneer there, suddenly in a bad spot, and Imbbe there wisely withdraws here in the face of Charlotte's advance. Here the fighting continues, the skirmish just sort of slowly ponders onwards. And the MG-34 they're being hauled forwards. Nothing further here from the light support company in the south. The skirmish continues. Again, another engagement where, in a sense, Imbbe is kind of winning here because one sport that is 200 manpower, occupying 260 manpower. Assault grenadiers out here. Imbbe keeping up here with an aggressive strategy overall, looking to flood the fields, it would appear. As for Charlotte, we do have the field infirmary up here for some nice, good old-fashioned British healing. That is a nice cup of tea and some opioids. Panzer Pioneer moving forwards, heading northwards there for the northern munitions point, and there we go. What we got here for Charlotte, we do get the fastened truck with a heavy mortar on the way for Charlotte, an aggressive move here, of course, indicating Indian artillery. We'll of course have to see what happens further. Some players are known to actually go for the Polston anti-aircraft upgrade there, just to get out something swiftly and motorized to put a bit of pressure on the enemy infantry. Of course, after you go see, of course, the other matter, of course, is there is a heavy mortar now, some heavy artillery here, or heavier light artillery. That's definitely going to give Imbbe's forces a bit of a resounding heading. There you go. First shot flies in there, almost hits the MG-34 crew here. Big boom there, a lot of dust kicked up. Second shot there almost takes out the Imbbe 34 crew entirely. But assault gunners backing up the Panzer Pioneer here does successfully capture the hill here from the British and the 1st Infantry Division. In the far south, Panzer Pioneer actually are maneuvering the section here, taking advantage of the fact he's kind of just been in a sort of standby mode there in the south, the section that is. Smart play there by Imbbe versus Charlotte. And we got a flag feeling here as well for Imbbe. A bit more aggressive in as well in some respects here. Section charging the Panzer Pioneer here. Got the truck moving forward once more. We are in fact getting the Polson 20mm anti-aircraft gun upgrade there. Providing some extra firepower here. Not super effective in short term, but you know, can sort of do a bit of damage. Once it gets into 1, it does unlock a pretty decent suppressor fire ability as well. So rolling forward with that. As a side note, most anti-aircraft guns of the shall say self-propelled kind were typically mounted on trucks. Little side note there.
We have vehicles available in
There we go, catching the Panzer Pioneer here with the truck there. The armed pheasant, I suppose. Panzer Pioneer losing Ludwig here to the 20mm gun there as it absolutely rips through them mercilessly. Machine gun all over the center. Flak feeling running forward here. That will certainly be a bit of a challenge here for Charlotte. And will quite like the anti-tank guns or a lot of anti-tank rifles that are in good positions. I mean, if Imbbe pulls close to the building, then there's a lot of anti-tank rifles. They could quickly make short work of it, but, you know, that's a lot of things that need to go right then for Charlotte. Section right here with the flak feeling. Truck firing away there. A heavy mortar, that's not a truck. It's not a truck, ladies and gentlemen. So, victory points wise, pretty close with the time lead here for Imbbe over Charlotte. Flak feeling northwards, backing up the assault grenadiers, the Panzer Pioneer, and we got a Panzerjäger group out as well here. So that's certainly a fair amount of infantry, though perhaps not all of the same quality, and certainly a lot of them are basically 4-man squads. There's nonetheless a lot of squads to sort of push forwards with here for Imbbe. If handled correctly, can definitely give some strong map control. If handled less correctly, that's going to be a lot of potential whilst pushing forwards here. A truck there engaging the 250 half tank, getting some good hits on it. But we do have the anti-tank rifles and the flak feeling, which make very short work of the not particularly armoured pheasant truck there. Meanwhile, anti-tank section caught with the flak feeling in a exposed and, well, undefensible position, really. They will have to withdraw here. As there we go, attacking with the assault gunners in the anti-tank section. It's absolutely hopelessly outclassed at both short range, mid-range, and long range. Far south here, sappers screaming about there with their Mark II Sten guns. 250 after needs and repairs. Section pushing in there. 6-pounder gun at the ready here for Charlotte and the British Empire. Ooh, missed with the 6-pounder gun here against the flak feeling. That is some great luck here for Imbbe. Second shot is a miss. Wow, what are the odds? Particularly like the actual buff the anti-tank guns accuracy even at long range. That is insane luck here then for him to like have 2 misses on his flak feeling at range. But I imagine for Charlotte that was a very, very frustrating moment. Who can blame her? Anyways, Morton caught the other punch. We've got the Polson truck moving in there, ripping through them there with the 20mm gun, and we got more assault grenadiers here for him, but a true believer in the power of the Sturm Grenadier. And there you go, another hit here on the MD-34 crew there, down to 2 men. Certainly quite concussed as well. They made down to 1 man with a sliver of health left here. The only thing keeping together is Sauerkraut and his German uniform. The starch there, ensuring he doesn't just keel over. Panzer Pioneer pushing forward to the Flammenwerfer. Second assault grenadier squad ready here. Up north here, flak feeling provides a nice base of fire here for the remaining troops under Imbbe's command. We got veteran gunners, we got vehicle awareness. As for Charlotte, we do have the platoon command post here. Still light tank could be an option. Or of course just pushing straight ahead for the next tier and starting to push foot guards and crusaders. I mean, there's plenty of options here for Charlotte to pursue versus Imbbe. Pushing out the center, soldiers and also pushing forwards here. Flak feeling ripping through the section. Meanwhile, the Polson truck is doing its best. Flak feeling near me, getting good. It's there goes 6-pounder gun, finally scores a hit, then the flak feeling causing a fair bit of damage. But, you know, it would have been better with the first 2 shots that actually hit. In the south here, Charlotte pushes forwards there through the beach here. forcing Imbbe to have to roll in troops trying to hold down. There's a British beach assault here. Polton track though to the rescue here for the British force. The Panzer Pioneer force withdraw, and the 250 half-tank is also forced to reconsider less anti-aircraft riddled positions. Still, with this much of amount of infantry here and overall not deep hard-bad terrain here, it's basically a matter of just what axis of attack here Imbbe takes with all this infantry. A good axis of attack would really leave Charlotte in a bad place, of course. A less good one, you're just going to get a lot of troops killed pointlessly. That's going to be the big challenge here for Imbbe. Like, that is a lot of squads to manage, and not all players are equally good at that, that's for sure. As for Charlotte, I do believe we are in fact getting the company command post here, so Crusader Rush is possible. Foot Guards, of course, also very possible. There would be an interesting choice there with no Gurkhas then, because they are quite good. Not to say the Foot Guards are bad. Heavy mortar, by the way, already Veterans 1. Thumbs up to that. Bolton there, very, very close to Veterans 1. They're gonna hit the machine and give it a crew. Down to 2 men as the heavy mortar continues to just wreak absolute havoc and terror on them. Panzer Pioneer and then 250 half-tank trying to push forwards, but they are withdrawn as assault gunners they're making it down with the Carphonic, catching lots of Charlotte support weapons exposed and with only a limited support. West side here going for the fuel point on the hill. We can't see a mine that actually went off on the flak feeling, causing quite a bit of damage, but the half-track mostly survives. But after this battle, it's going to need a serious coat of paint.
Engage all contacts.
Flak feeling there versus the assault. Oh, not flak feeling, but the Polson track there. Tank, anti-tank taking aim mortar as the assault guns push them back. Still, Charlotte here on the back foot here as the German 90th Panzer Grenadier Division keeps up the assault here. And we do get Foot Guards here for Charlotte. And in fact, they're almost done. There you go, equipped with the early model Thompson with the drum magazine and bazookas. Drum magazines were certainly a feature of many submachine guns from the interwar period, though as sort of war came on and people sort of got to use drum magazines in the war, turns out drum magazines did have some significant issues which ultimately caused people to switch over to box magazines. Mostly they were more complex to manage. You could only carry, well, you could really only carry less ammunition compared to box magazines with them. So that sort of was some of the many reasons why drum magazines fell out of favor. In the case of the Soviets, it was also they really couldn't mass produce them very well. So that was a bit of an added element there for the Soviet PPC-841 to drop the drum magazines there. Anyways, Panzer Pioneer pushing forwards. Not to say they weren't, you know, popular with the frontline troops, but from a larger perspective, they had their issues. Flak feeling versus the section here, absolutely ripping through them. Anti-tanks moving forwards, got the Polton truck here. Up north, Foot Guards moving in with a Recce section there, catching the assault in a bad spot here. On the beaches is where things are at the hottest. Panzer Pioneer routed. Troops pushing forwards here as the scenery is lit up. Mines being laid down on the central road here, clearly expecting a coup de main for the British forces. Foot Guards claim the fuel point on the hill there. And the Polton truck there ripping through the Panzer Pioneer there. Like a very lazy cat rips through a not particularly well put together toy. Machine and Gewehr there setting up to rebuff the British Foot Guards attempting to seize the northern fuel point there. Flak feeling moving towards the beaches once more. Taking the beach route there.
Our territory is in enemy hands.
Sabres holding up here. Polson there getting blasted. Few more hits as the Flak feeling also moves in. Panzerjägers pulling force there with their Panzerbüchse 39. Assault is charging in here. 6-pounder gun about to get wrecked here as Imbbe once more utilizes assault gun quite well, but they obviously have the limits. But there you go, Flak feeling to the alongside the tank section in the Polstons. Somehow actually looks like it's going to get away there. Impressively enough. Yeah, the assault guns were crucial to this push, otherwise the anti-tank would of course halt at the Flak feeling immediately, and he actually grabs Charlotte's 6-pounder gun there and makes off with it. In the west side, you have Recce's section there, sneaking up behind here. Imbbe's left flank. And we got a Panzer III being rushed out here by Imbbe and the 90th Panzergrenadierdivision. The Panzerkampfwagen 3, Ausführung L. As for Charlotte, we got a Matilda 2 tank on the way here. Truck meanwhile in dire need repairs. The driver somehow fairly unharmed. Despite all the shots that have clearly gone through the cab. There you go, Matilda 2 infantry tank there, hauling forwards. That's going to be a bit of a challenge here for Imbbe due to its thick armoured hide, and of course its 2-pounder gun.
Heavy panzer, hold!
We have surplus munitions to support the war effort.
Another entertaining here for Imbbe. As soon as spots the Matilda 2, he does commit to the PaK 38. Of course, there are some risks involving heavy mortars, but we'll have to see. But still more mines here from Imbbe. Matilda heading northwards here for the northern victory point by the North Beach.
We're losing men.
Capturing the Panzer Pioneer there.
Surplus munitions to support the war
And to them packing there.
of the capture point.
In the centre there, Panzer III there. Encounters the British there, punching through the anti-tank rifle with frontal armour. Deflection damage. Of course, actual anti-tank rifle not been that effective. And we got a lot of bazooka fire. In fact, we got a second foot guard squad out here for Charlotte. That is a lot of elite British infantry. Utilised correctly, it can be quite devastating, particularly with that veteran's one ability can actually stun a tank. 6-pounder gun and PaK 38 now as well. If I can locate it. Oh, there it is. Apparently the old casually just forgot their shirts. So, their shirts? Oh, your Novi totally forgot some, yeah, Herr Officer.
Surplus munitions.
I don't believe you, but we got bigger issues to deal with.
Shift fire on enemy troopers!
Panzerjägers of the tank hunter or recce section.
We overrun. Repairs completed. We're moving. Medium panzers ready.
Panzer Grenadiers, assault grenadiers actually able the Panzer III in support here, climbing the hill, or at least looking to defend it. Matilda moving through the south here, but foot guards here as the advancing assault grenadiers, but they're veterans too here. And there you go, popping tactical assault here, heavy mortar fire the rain down here. Could see a gamma bomb as well here, but the foot guards are definitely now doing alright versus the assault grenadiers to a degree, but the tactical assault here, along with all that veterancy, does prove to be quite potent here. Foot guards taking all losses, the Panther appears on the flank here. On the beaches, the Matilda taking northwards, far south here. Foot guards with the Panzer Pioneer, gamma bomb off, and utterly obliterating the Panzer Pioneer, leaving nothing behind except large chunks of meat and Ludwig.
A victory point is being taken from us.
Got the flak feeling there, moving up. Matilda taking a nice hit from the PaK 38 and the 6-pounder gun through the rear side armor here. Matilda, though, getting a good hit on the side armor of the Panther III here as he definitely drives in a bit awkwardly there. Texan moving forwards, artillery fire there on the bunched up German troops. It is a pretty ruthless and grim fight here on the southern beaches now. Explosions going off everywhere. Units are dying and just being utterly eviscerated on these beaches. I do not think these are the beaches that Churchill had envisioned when they were talking about fighting on them. Obviously, they were talking about the British beaches, but not these blood-soaked beaches. Anyways, flak finger take a few hits from the anti-tank rifles. Assault keeps up here for Charlotte. A furious British assault here, sweeping the Germans aside.
Our munitions point is being neutralized by the enemy.
Panther, they're covering the hasty retreat of the anti-tank guns.
We're losing grasp of the capture point.
Assault gunners being forvets. Matilda causing neat repairs. Truck moving northwards there. More sappers for, I think, Charlotte here could be a very good idea.
Our victory point is being neutralized by the enemy.
Good guards rolling ahead, closing in veterans to one. Here, meanwhile, a lot of stuff in your repairs here back at the base of Imbbe.
Enemy forces have
I'm out to healing reinforcements. Quick push here. Foot guards moving forward with a gamma bomb here. Popping off there on the German troops. For those wondering what was a gamma bomb, it was basically a pouch that could be filled with the explosives, basically plastic explosives to be more specific, and then depending on how much you fill it up with, it would then either be an anti-personnel grenade or an anti-tank grenade. As a side note, it was actually a percussive grenade, meaning it detonated on impact rather than after a timer. So, little fun fact there.
victory point lost.
Recce section router. North of the Panther III. Got northern point here, foot guards backed up by the truck. And we got the BL 5.5 artillery emplacement here from Charlotte. Good golly. Well, things are about to get explosive for sure now. Definitely leaning into the artillery side of this battle group, which you typically do not see a lot of, but I suppose with a lot of anti-tank guns out of Imbbe, bringing in some artillery is certainly not a bad idea. More mines here, just absolutely looking to fortify the centre against any British drive. So also leveraging the fact that he's got a lot of Panzer Pioneer. So that. And Matilda moving forward here again. Bit dinged up. Howitzer is good to go here. And moving about. Got a bit of fuel here sort of being held up by Imbbe at the moment. Good shot then, heavy mortar from the enemy foot by the heavy mortar, down to 2 men, forced to withdraw there. North here, foot guards with the truck pushing back the Panzer Pioneer there as Imbbe tries to extend his reach into northern victory point. Panther heading northwards. 6 bunning on the hill here. Could be a pretty good target for the Howitzer, particularly with the Pack 38 getting up that hill as well here. Howitzer remaining silent for now. Foot guards and tank section here. We got the potentially very uncomfortable engagement here for Charlotte because she pushes too far ahead with the troops. They're going to be running straight into the mines there, which is quickly going to get very uncomfortable. Foot guards, their veterans, 1 Panther pushing up across the hill here. Foot guards, their assault gunners, and anti-tank section, they're all tanking here on the middle of the road. Matilda moving forwards. Panther going to threaten the retreat path here. Matilda pushes forwards, and far up here we got a foot guard squad pushing very deeply into Imbbe's rear lines here, an aggressive push. And we got an artillery barrage into the base here of Imbbe. The Howitzer is unleashing hell here. First shot got kind of a kill there. Second shot slightly damaged the ambulance. That's pretty lucky of Imbbe, and certainly some comparative rubbish luck for Charlotte. Another hit here this time, a few more casualties there, but typically firing from one end of the map to the other end of the map, trying to hit something in the base without line of sight is typically fairly risky. Holy smokes, that almost took out the ambulance. Very lucky there for him, but that did not explode. That would have been an excellent kill there for Charlotte. Panzer withdrawing. And by the southern victory point, another attempt at Charlotte to move forward, so we got the flak feeling and the 250 Chapter holding the sappers, preventing any capture of that point, at least making it very, very painful and very expensive in manpower. But up north here, by the northern hoods now, most of the fighting happening, we've got the anti-tank being pursuing here, the Matilda 2 here, assault gunners pushing forwards, Maschinengewehren, Panzerjägers, Panzer Pioniere, they're all on the move. It's a big push here for the north, and Charlotte's forces are ill-prepared to withstand such an assault. But there you go, taking the best that can out the opportunity as she can. Charlotte flanks in, we got a grenade here, a gamma bomb on the Pack 38 crew, almost wiping out the entire crew. Matilda taking hits to the side armor, almost got the Pack crew there with the foot guards. Scores a kill here. Good kill there. Matilda takes another side hit here, almost getting knocked out. Foot guards there, stunning the Panther feeder veterans. One ability, but the machine gun there is allowed to just blast away at them, suppressing them here. But the Panther fleet's almost knocked out though. Meanwhile, a second Matilda's arrived here for Charlotte. More mines exploding around the center. At least mines are exploding in the first place.
Listen up.
Pack 38 being held out here by a few plucky assault grenadiers. Meanwhile, the second Matilda leads the counter-charge here for the hill. Anti-tank guns at the ready. Maybe mortar could be brought in a bit more. Maybe just hope that the Howitzer's time cooldown has worn off. Which point they could... Yeah, we go start bombarding the hill here. Masonry flies off there and thankfully doesn't crash in someone's skull. Considering the size of those bricks. And there you go. 6-pounder gun crew utterly evaporated there.
Location secured. Holding.
Nice barrage there, more masonry just pulverized. And something about here wrecking the 6-pounder gun to ensure it doesn't fall into German hands. Good Lord, Johnson, good thing we destroyed that before the Germans were able to copy it. Imagine the horrors that could happen if they were to copy superior British technology. Yes. Seizing the southern point there. Counter-attack the foot guards of regular section here to keep that out of German hands. Of course, this means we do get vehicle capture that researched for Imbbe for increased mobility there, and I believe we also can see their emergency repair kits. More mortar fire here. This time, though, airburst shells going off. So, that's actually a artillery ability there. Grabbing the northern field, grabbing the northern victory point. The artillery there definitely gave Charlotte a bit more oomph here versus Imbbe, and definitely caught Imbbe off guard, because most British players typically don't bother with this 1-in-1v1 matches. It's, you know, by some perhaps considered a bit overkill. But then again, in the British Army, there's no such thing as overkill. Tanks moving up here, getting the section there, blasting the balcony there with high explosive shells. And we got a Pak 38 being called in here. Wow, we don't see that too often. It does mean that Imbbe has rapid access to another Pak 38 here, certainly indicating he's quite concerned about those Matilda 2 tanks. At this point, he's got so much fuel. Like, I feel like a Flak 36 would actually kind of make more sense here. I don't know, even like going for the mechanized company and then starting to pull for, like, you know, armored reserves maybe. Then, you know, pushing for like either Tiger or some Pantherfalls or Stuka Assault Group. Certainly some paths to take there. Up north here, pushing forward here for the Northern Hill. Matilda there lightly damaged. In the center of that Panzer period here being utterly mauled. And we got the building here getting flakkened by the flak feeling. Victory points wise for Charlotte has been able to bring down the gap between the two players fairly well, though Imbbe maintains a bit of lead here with the 90th Panzer Grenadier Division as another assault here for control of the central road is launched by German forces. Until they're falling back, 90th Panzer Grenadier Division keeps up the attack even as the losses are piling up here. First infantry falls back here in the south, though. German mechanized and armored forces have broken through and is threatening the entire southern half of Charlotte's front line. Panzer Eagles there falls back, grab northern victory point. Flak feeling withdrawing. And the far south here we got fighting for the southern field point. And we got another barrage off somewhere, I think, up here on the hill again, and the 250 half-track goes up in flames, shattered by British ordnance. There's foot guards in trouble here, need to retreat those. And the Panther 3 here is being hammered by British forces, but does rapidly escape here through a gap in the beach front and fall back here. Anti-tank meanwhile being absolutely devastated here by Imbbe, and is rapidly forced to withdraw here. Immortal is still at it, Veteran 2 for that matter, with 16 kills. Howitzer at Veteran 1, in fact, it's close to Veteran 2. That's not too shabby at all. And by plucky Indian artillery crews. The Indians also, by the way, fought on the Italian front. They also fought in North Africa. They just typically don't get, you know, shown off a lot. They even talked a lot about on that front. But they did, you know, do a lot of fighting there. Alongside other colonial troops like the Australians and the New Zealanders. And of course the Canadians. Foot guards, they almost got to Imbbe's Panther 3 there, but fortune smiles upon Imbbe a bit here like a toothless drunk and allows his Panther 3 to escape. Up north here, Savage being flanked by the assault grenadiers, machine gunners setting up, regular section moving up here, but flank the MD-34 they cleared out. This force a withdrawal here from Imbbe. Not yet, there we go, down to 2 men, sappers there, exterminated by the now Veteran of the assault grenadiers, 26 kills. They're definitely getting their part done here for Das Vaterland. Also nice reload animation. But anyways, pushing in here. Section overwhelmed here, close range with tactical assault. Definitely an ability I'm happy they brought back from companies too.
Command points available.
I rather liked it. Got the Matilda here, pushing back an assault grenadier push here from Imbbe and the 90th Panzer Grenadier Division. Part of me feel like it might be an idea here to consider some Grant tanks to then back up the Matildas, the Grants with their numerous guns, could provide a very strong element to push forward with against Imbbe and just blasting infantry and armor to bits, while the Matildas just, you know, soak up the damage. Well, that's just me. As for Imbbe, at least he's going for more tanks finally. I'm a bit surprised there. More tanks is definitely a good idea. Again, could have considered, you know, moving for the bigger ones. I feel like at this stage, Imbbe with this amount of fuel there could actually get away with it. The assault grenadiers though as the foot guards. Both of actually to the foot guards definitely draw the advantage there with the Thompsons and of course the dashing mustaches. Until they're pushing forwards. Almost got them. Further up north here, Panther 3 rushing straight to Matilda and foot guards. The assaults are not pretty there. Go. Driver there, clearly messing up. Allows the rearmor to take a few extra hits here from the British forces. Howitzer remains a bit silent at this point, actually. I think Charlotte might have forgotten about it. I think there are definitely some good targets here. Another push here for the south, but this time there's a Panther 3 and numerous infantry elements ready, and Charlotte, I think, wisely withdraws here rather than waste precious elite infantry on such a move. Also, there's a flamethrower lying about in the sand. Northy ground the point here with the Ace Assault Grenadiers, Iron Cross First Class. We're definitely down there, part of Fuzz land, and send some. Until they're being flanked by the Panther 3, good hit on the 250 half track. Second Panther moving in, here looks like here Charlotte definitely made a mistake here, and Imbbe's looking to capitalize on this by going in here for the kill. Got the Stuka anti-tank Lloyd now ready. Archer remains silent. Assault guns pushing forwards here.
Heavy panzer target! He's closing on us!
The fuel point is being taken from us!
Falling back with the anti-tank guns there. And Panzer's holding back here. Flanking around the assault guns here with the support from the Matilda 2.
The victory point is being taken from us!
296 versus 138. The Ace is going to start charging the hill now, ripping through there with MP40s. The losses are piling up there. They've got more soldiers moving in here, plus the Panzer Pioneer here.
Enemy forces have captured the victory
And we
point.
still got that flak feeling. That has definitely been an amazing investment here for Imbbe. It's immense firepower. They're pretty much holding a lot of infantry advances there rapidly. Panzer's pushing up from the beaches now towards the center here. Foot guards just absolutely getting shot at from almost every angle possible. And the casualties are becoming unsustainable here for Charlotte, so she wisely withdraws there. Niemand got other foot guards go the gun bomb against the Panzer Pioneer there, blowing apart Helmut and Reinhard, leaving, well, nothing for an open casket burial. North here, Matilda falling back. Heading over to the flak feeling. Assault Grenadier, Panther 3's moving in here. Isolate Matilda up north here is definitely a bit of a tactical issue here for Charlotte, to put it gently. And there you go, re-exposed here. Imbbe leveraging the sheer speed of the Panther 3's to hit, of course, the rear armor of the Matilda, which is significantly easier to penetrate for the Panther 3's. Smoking deployed, trying to buy time, but the question is, can Charlotte get in enough forces here to aid the, well, beleaguered and isolated Matilda heavy tank or infantry tank? And I think the answer to that is going to be a resounding no. As both Pack and Panther 3's, they just leave it a burning wreckage there and the thick cloud of smoke. There we go. At least gets the flak feeling. I mean, that's not terrible here, but trading Matilda for it is obviously not what you'd call an ideal trade. And there you go, artillery fire now going off here on the northern German positions. Charlotte remembered she had a massive howitzer. Oh right, we got that thing. Jolly good show.
Enemy forces have captured the victory
Got these soldiers pushing in here. Down to 2 men there.
to 100 points. Confirmed. 100.
Less than 100 points left here for Charlotte. Things are getting pretty dangerous here for the British. They need to stabilize a bit more here. And they also need to, I think, start inflicting some more heavy losses here to Imbbe here. Matilda exposed. Troops being mauled here on the close to the cut-off point here. Matilda being swarmed now. Anti-tank rifles, Panther there on the rear here. We've got the foot guard supporting, but that's the second Matilda down. A huge blow here to Charlotte. All tanks are now burning wreckage by the beaches. Might have been Queen of the Desert. Right in southern Italy. Yeah. Nothing but wreckage. So there you go, GG, game over. A nice fight here, a lot of back and forth here in the end though. Charlotte just couldn't quite match the rapid speed here of Imbbe. He, I think, utilised his elements quite correctly. Charlotte, while she did go for the howitzer, I feel like kind of forgot about it at times, which, you know, helped Imbbe not have his stuff explode all the time and kept it alive there. And that's definitely a part of it that I like to see, like maybe some Grant, some Crusader, something a bit faster, but also a bit more punchy than just the Matildas. There's also the argument that maybe some earlier Gurkhas with Thompsons or Bren guns could also have been, I think, a nice asset here versus Imbbe. As for Imbbe, there's an argument he could, like, maybe push for something a bit bigger than all these Panther Thieves. But oh, yeah, nice fight here. Nice back and forth here with some excellent action. So I hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share. Comment, tell your friends, tell your family, but don't tell enemies. Know you can support the Propagandacaster if you like what I do by donating or pledging on Patreon. Links are in the video description. This is Imperial Legion. Cheers, and see you all tomorrow for another exciting and glorious episode. Bye, everyone.